great taste is brought to you by Cantor's Meats, the home of quality meats.
Dairy Farmers of Manitoba tonight. Great taste of Manitoba made with milk. And we have Sarah Cahill here. All right, spill the beans. What's going on? Sloppy Moes?
So we're actually making sloppy joes, but we're making them with milk.
Okay, this is different. Never heard of this before. Still looking forward to seeing if this is any different, the same to making sloppy joes.
Perfect. So we've started off with a ground beef. So we're browning the ground beef. I mean, you could really use any ground meat that you like. At home, we've used wild meat, and it's turned out really well as well. So we're gonna add some flavorings to it. So of course, onions. Onions always go really well in any sort of
For sure. You kind of have to, well, you don't have to have them, but it's really kind of important. A peak of the market, of course.
That's right.
Yeah.
Make everything smell delicious and taste delicious. I'm adding some green peppers here, but if you're not a green pepper fan, you can add any vegetable you want. You know, traditional sloppy moes don't necessarily have vegetables in them, but I really like adding a vegetable when it's possible.
It's a good way to slip it in there. I know lots of kids like to eat these kinds of, you know, anything with the word sloppy in it, right? So,
so
it's a good way to kind of sneak those veg in there as well. Yeah.
That's right. And so we've got some tomato paste that we're going to add for flavoring. We've also got a little bit of brown sugar, as well as some minced garlic.
Oh, yes.
And then,
oh, sorry, I was just going to ask, like, does it really matter, like, getting back to the meat here for just a minute, like, lean, like, it just really doesn't make any difference at all? Because I'm also thinking as we're cooking this, right, like, certain, you know, kinds of ground beef will end up different in the pan, right?
Yeah,
lean,
you know,
extra lean.
I think it's your personal preference. For me, I personally like taking the easier route, which is the extra lean ground beef, because then there's less usually to drain outside of the pan. I think that's the biggest thing you want to remember is to drain the extra fat off, and then you can make it a leaner dish.
Okay, so that's coming together nicely.
Together nicely. Already. We have some extra seasonings which we're going to put in. We have some chili powder, some mustard powder, as well as some red pepper flakes. So those are all going to go in the pan.
Chili, mustard powder, and red pepper flakes. And I guess you could use like a pre-packaged
you know what? You could.
Sort of flavoring.
You can certainly do that if you want to make it a little bit simpler. But like, look, we're using ketchup. These are really easy ingredients that most people have in their fridge or in their pantry, which is also quite nice. So we're gonna mix this in, and then our sort of unexpected ingredient, once again, is going to be our milk. And so I'm gonna be using a 1% milk here because, again, that's what I have in my fridge. But you can really use any kind of milk that you have in your fridge. So be it, you know, 1%, 2%, 3%, you could use a lactose-free milk, you could use an organic milk. It really is whatever your personal preference is.
And what was that about? That was a cup, right?
It's about a cup, yeah.
All right.
And so what that's gonna do is it's going to come to a low boil or to a simmer, and then it's gonna thicken up. And you see right now it looks a little bit milky. It's not gonna look like that at the end. It's actually gonna get all nice and absorbed, and so you're gonna have that nutritional value without it looking creamy, right?
Yes.
And so you can actually see here in our finished sort of cooked off version what it's gonna look like.
And you know, it's great because like you're getting that added nutrition in, right? Like, and so, yeah, talk a little bit about that. I mean, I think most people know, right, why milk is good for you, but...
Well, you know, it's really nice because we've got our calcium, our vitamin D, and our protein in there.
Yeah.
And so, again, you mentioned at the beginning of the show that some adults don't always drink milk, or they forget to drink milk. They think it's for kids, when really it's quite important that we all have milk because it's got some great nutrients in there, and it's an easy and affordable way to get those nutrients.
Quick way to get it, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so this is another easy weeknight meal and a great way for you to get some additional nutrients into your diet.
And lots of fun. You can get the kids, you know, not only eating it, but helping you out just a little bit.
Absolutely. It's always great to get kids in the kitchen whenever possible. Good family time, but also great food skill time to learn.
For sure. Important.
So we're going to be plating these onto, well, we're not actually going to plate them, but you would plate it onto a bun.
Magically,
or a
it's been
bun.
done for us.
It has been done, so you can see what it looks like here. And again, just, you know, easy things that you have in your fridge. If you want to get really fancy, you can even do like an open-faced and, you know, broil some cheese on top.
Oh, wow.
So there's a lot you could do with it.
I'm going to give this a little try here if that's
for
all right.
sure.
Okay. Yeah, I just eat it like this probably as well. It's right out of the bowl. Sweet. Tomato. Love it. Love it.
That's great.
And you put it on a bun. It's absolutely perfect. All right. Should have waited. Sloppy Moes. There you go. Mystery solved. Sloppy joes, but with milk. for a little added nutrition. So when we come back, we're going to do a chicken penne primavera. It's made with milk tonight, Dairy Farmers of Manitoba, here on Great Tastes of Manitoba.
You're watching Great Tastes of Manitoba, brought to you in part by the Government of Canada and Manitoba Agriculture through the Canadian Agricultural Partnership.